We're going to talk about the Clippy movement. We're talking about the Clippy movement tonight. Let's begin.
I was listening to the Facebook whistleblower hearings with Senator Josh Hawley a few months back.
I need to explain who Clippy is. Clippy is this little guy. And he's actually my profile picture. And if you go to the Kerfuffle Fumpter, I highly encourage you all subscribe to the Kerfuffle Fumpter. Great channel over there. Great channel. Me and the Kerfuffle Fumpter, our channel logos are Clippy. And he was a Microsoft assistant for a couple years. Here, I'll pull up the Clippy impregnant. After I finish this video, I'll pull up the Clippy impregnant video. Picture. Anyway, let's continue.
Elements that stuck out to me was when they were talking about how if an underage girl has deleted a selfie, Meta keeps track of this because they know that this person likely has low self-esteem at that moment that they deleted a picture of themselves, which means that they may be more apt to purchase.
This is Louis Rosman. He's a YouTube like tech guy, and he is the leader of the Clippy movement. Anyway, let's continue.
Just something from an advertiser of a cosmetic product. And I think about this within the context of what companies used to get in trouble for and what they do, or more importantly, don't get in trouble for today. I grew up in the 90s, a time when Microsoft had hell and fury fall down upon them because they bundled a web browser with their operating system. Whether you think this is a good idea or not, I personally think that a web browser being installed in every single person's computer that's standards non-compliant, that is so bad that you can literally get a virus from visiting a website, has its problems. But when you look at what it is that companies got in trouble for in the 90s, it just doesn't hit the same when you look at what...
Okay, let's look up Birdly. Oh, that guy from Deltarune. Oh, I love Birdly. Kind of... I remind you of Birdly? Is that a compliment? Kerfuffle Fumpter, is Birdly is me reminding you of Birdly a compliment? Okay, thank you. Here's the famous Clippy picture that we're all talking about right now. Birdly Snowgrove. Interesting. Anyway, we got to get back to the Clippy movement. Sorry, chat. We were at 54 seconds in. I got to remember that.
I was listening to the Facebook whistleblower hearings, better graphics, but when you look at what companies get away with.
There we go.
I remember having a Dell Dimension 233 back in the day, and if you wanted to get the one that had slightly better graphics, they would give you a free installation of Microsoft Office. And with Microsoft Office back in the day, it came with Clippy. Whether or not you like Clippy and whether or not you liked Microsoft Office or having an operating system that had the browser built into it that could easily get you a virus when you visited other websites that were trying to invade your privacy, the one thing that you could say, unlike Facebook, who is trying to profit off of young girls that feel suicidal, Clippy simply wanted to help. He might have been annoying, but he just wanted to help. There were no ulterior motives. If you told Clippy that you were having a bad day, he wasn't going to use that information.
All right, chat. Do you guys know the Randfather? Who here knows the Randfather? Say, I know the Randfather if you know the Randfather, if you've heard of him. Okay, well, no one's responding. Anyway. Oh, there we go, Ez. We all love the Randfather, right? I'm going to show him this clip of the stream. Randfather, great guy, right? My king, my glorious king. I'm actually going to have the Randfather on stream someday. So that's going to be exciting. Something for you all to look forward to. Anyway. The Randfather back. So 2007, right? They just got rid of Clippy, right? The Randfather actually wrote a letter to Microsoft telling them, bring Clippy back. I want Clippy back. I love Clippy. Bring him back, please. Please bring Clippy back. They didn't listen to the Randfather, but, you know. So the Randfather was actually like the first member of the Clippy movement. Before Rosman, before Kerfuffle Fumpter, before me, Randfather was the first member of the Clippy movement. Love Randfather. Great guy.
To try and figure out which advertiser to sell you to, nor was he trying to steal your personal data or get you to purchase other Microsoft products. He had no ulterior motives. He was simply there to help. Unlike many modern pieces of software, like what you get from Adobe or Intuit, where you can't buy QuickBooks anymore. You can't buy a video editor.
Can we get W's in the chat for the Randfather, guys? Please? Can we get W's in the chat for the Randfather? It would warm his heart. It would warm his heart.
Anymore. You have to pay a subscription fee for it. If I were to boot up that computer that has not been used for 28 years and I wanted to start up Microsoft Word, I could do so without connecting to the internet. And Clippy would still be there, happy and enthusiastic as ever, simply wanting to help. Adobe is another example of this. This is a company that tried to twist people's arms into having AI and machine learning stuff go through their personal data.
I hate clankers.
Not public data, not the speeches that I give, not my website or my blog posts or my videos, but my private data, the stuff that I'm editing. And there were people that were not able to get into their account until they agreed to this new end user license agreement. When they are looking for access to your data, they're doing so to do what you do.
Hey, chat, what do we think of my my shirt this stream?
Without paying you, without your consent. Clippy,
thank you,
simply wanted to help. When Clippy would ask you if you wanted help with writing your letter, Clippy wouldn't even read the contents of your letter. He just wanted to offer suggestions. Game of Thrones had, I'm not, spoiler alert, there's this Sons of the Harpy in season 5. They were these people that wore masks and they pushed back against the new regime. And the purpose of the mask was to let the leaders know that when you see people with this mask, we are against you and your new regime, and we are going to push back against it as often as we can. And the worry with the Sons of the Harpy mask is that it starts with one person putting the mask on. And then somebody else gains the balls to put the mask on. And then 20 or 40 or 100 of them put the mask on. And once 100 or 1,000 of them put the mask on, there's nothing that the leaders can do at that point. Enough people have put it on, and enough people have come together with solidarity. And they're going to do something about it. Now, granted, this may not be the best analogy because, spoiler alert, they were trying to bring back slavery, and they also were just bad people. Khaleesi kind of became a shitbag at that point, too. But besides, I think that Clippy is like a modern-day Sons of the Harpy mask. If you're tired of companies changing the terms of the sale after the sale and getting away with it, turn your profile photo to a Clippy. If you're tired of companies that have the ability to reach into your house and ransomware your products so that they stop working unless you pay them again, claiming that that's legal, but then when somebody tries to give you back access to what you bought and paid for, that's illegal, change your profile photo to a Clippy. If you're tired of sex bots invading the comment section on a regular basis and their comments always posting with no problem, but your comments being censored even when you're not saying anything that bad, change your profile picture to a Clippy. If Google being one of the premier data mining companies on earth, not being able to tell that little fucking cat with 2 pillows next to it that they try to make look like an ass so that thirsty young men click it as they normalize sex trafficking on the platform that doesn't allow you to express an opinion bothers you, change your profile picture to a Clippy. And let them know that you're not happy. Clippy never tried to normalize sex trafficking. He just wanted to help. If you're tired of companies saying out loud that the reason they want to keep you from fixing what you bought and paid for is that that may take money away from them, change your profile photo to a Clippy. I never expected to win the legislative battle. It would be nice if I did, but it was never something that I set as I need to do this or I'm a failure. What I always hoped to do was win the cultural battle, where all of you understand what's going on and you decide that enough is enough. If I ever have a chance in my personal life to push back against this, I will. You're maybe not going to send that email that you're supposed to send to Interso to tell them, oh, by the way, make sure this chip doesn't end up on Mouser.com. Here's an NDA, blah, 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 supplier agreement. Maybe you just forget to send that email. When there's a new consumer rights law that the senator that you work for is on the fence about supporting, and there's a lobbyist that's going to be against it that wants to have dinner.
South Carolina senator is both of our senators, because both of our senators aren't the best, right? Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham. I am sure both of them are against the Clippy movement, and are for big tech. And I hate big tech, right? Go Clippy. I love Clippy.
Whoops. Maybe their invitation went to spam. I didn't see that. Sorry, boss. Maybe
They
you
are
quit
dumber
before
than
you
you,
create
and
a
that's
fake paywall to
surprisingly,
test
Levi,
if
'cause
your
you have the
customers will pay
brightest
again for
skin.
what they already paid for. Or
You're
maybe when
not
you
the
send out
sharpest
that
knife in the
ransomware
knife.
firmware update, you make it opt-in instead of opt-out. Whoopsie, if in some bizarro world it is actually illegal to make a thermostat work again, and this bastard of a CEO decides to try and get the individual in trouble, 10 cases to prosecute, only got time for 6. Maybe I just ignore this one. When a company CEO logs into their Slack and sees 10,000 Clippies looking back at them, what I hope occurs is that they intuitively understand that they no longer live in a world where they can get away with fucking over the consumer.
Kerfuffle Fumpster, where did you send me something on messages? Here, I gotta go get a charger, chat. I'll be right back. Love you, chat.
That their employees, their partners are not going to be accomplices to this anymore, that they are alert and they are aware of what is going on, and they are going to politely but firmly push back against it. Every single one of those 10,000 people will be an obstacle to the anti-consumer practices and the anti-ownership practices, and it will no longer be another cog in the assembly line sending us all into a dystopia. There will be a moment where that one person who usually would not have a say in anything can be activated, and in that moment, keep the world from sliding further into a dystopia or help push it forward in the opposite direction. But we all have to get together. And the first step is making it public that we know what's going on. That starts with a Clippy. On YouTube, if you're with me, I ask that you change your profile picture to a Clippy. At work, change your Slack profile picture to a Clippy. If you work at the White House, don't take down the United States flag, but somewhere on the grounds, put up a flag of a Clippy. Clippy is a symbol that what used to be considered one of the worst annoyances in our life would now not only be welcomed, but for all of his flaws, celebrated as an idol. Because for all of these things that occur right now, where there is negative malice of intent, I want to take away what you own. I want to take this back. I want to get your data. I want to sell you to an advertiser when I know that you're crying. Clippy just wanted to help. And if you were to turn him on today, unlike most cloud bullshit, he'd still work. Hulu Foundation is going to be announcing the winners to both the Future Home Bounty and the Echelon Bikes Bounty within the next month. Us offering 5,000 here, 20,000 there. It pushes the ball forward. But at the end of the day, that does nothing in contrast to organizing all of you. We're happy to get the ball rolling. But for us to truly win, we need to show that if you push us, Clippy clips back. That's it for today.
All right, chat. So I support the Clippy movement. That's why my logo is Clippy. Right? I love the Clippy movement. Okay, I can't watch it tonight. Sorry. What do you mean? No, it's not. It's like average time for a stream. Actually, it's really short for a live stream, really.